Hello, my name is Miri. Today I will be presenting my work on phonological typology, language prosody, stress and rhythm in the English and native languages. Plan: Introduction, phonological typology, language prosody, stress and rhythm in English, stress and rhythm in native languages, and conclusion. References. Introduction. Phonological typology is a key linguistic field that classifies languages based on their phonological systems. A significant aspect is prosody, which includes stress, rhythm, and intonation, essential for understanding how sounds conveys meaning. In this presentation, I will explore the prosodic features of English and compare them to those of native languages. I will discuss the roles of stress, rhythm, and intonation, the challenges in studying prosody, and how these features impact languages teaching and learning. Next, what is phonology? Phonological typology. Phonological typology is a subfield of linguistics that classifies languages based on their phonological systems, focusing on sounds and sound patterns. Key aspects include segment, inventariants, prosody, stress patterns, and rhythm. The distinction between phonetics and phonology established at the First International Congress of Linguistics in 1928 by the Paraguay Linguistics Circle highlights the differences between the physical properties of speech sounds and their functional roles in language systems. Next, key categories of phonological systems. Phonological typology examines how different languages organize their sound systems. Key categories include phonemes, consonants and vowels, tonal systems, syllabic languages. Phonemes, the smallest sound units that can change the meaning of a word, for example, P and B, in pat and but. Consonant and vowels, the classification of sounds into these two groups along with an analysis of their categorization. Tonal systems, the presence of absence of tones that can alter the meaning of words. Syllabic languages, languages where syllable structure play an essential role. Next, relationship between phonemes and morphemes. The relationship between phonemes and morphemes is a crucial aspect of phonology. Morphemes are the smallest meaningful units of language, while phonemes are the smallest sound units. For example, in English, adding the morpheme s to form the plural, for example, cat and cats, involves a change in phonemes. Phonemes can vary depending on morphological process such as assimilation, dissimilation, and reduction. Example of different languages, typologies. Language can be classified based on their phonological system: analytic language, synthetic language, and polysynthetic language. What aspect does phonological typology study is prosody, stress, and rhythm systems. Important of prosody. Prosody plays a crucial role in communication as it helps convey emotions, clarify intention, and facilitate understanding. For instance, the same phrase with different intonation can be perceived as a question or a statement, highlights the importance of prosodic elements for successful communication. What is language prosody? Language prosody refers to the melodic and rhythm aspects of speech that can convey meaning and emotional nuance. The main components of prosody include intonation, stress, tempo, and pauses. Stress and rhythm in English. Principle of stress. Stress in English refers to the emphasis placed on 13 syllables with words and on 13 words within sentences. Key principles include word stress, sentence stress, stress patterns. Word stress in multisyllable words, one syllable in usual stressed more than others. For example, photograph. The stress is on the first syllable photograph. Sentence stress is sentences content, words, noun, main, verb, adjectives, adverbs are typically stresses, while functional words, prepositions, articles, auxiliary verbs are less stresses. For example, I want a glass of water. Stress patterns. Different words can have different stresses patterns that may change their meaning. For example, record as a noun and record as a verb. The next, rhythmic structure in English. English is considered a stress-timed language, meaning that the rhythm is based on the interval between stressed syllables rather than the total number of syllables. Key points include stress timing and rhythm in phrases. Stress timing stresses syllables occur at regularly equal intervals, which can lead to the reduction or illusion of in stressed syllables. For example, going to is often pronounced as gonna. Rhythmic in phrases. Phrases are often rhythmically organized around the stressed syllables, creating a natural flow in spoken English. For example, I want to go the store. The next examples and illustrations. Word stresses examples: present noun and present verb, import noun and import verb. Sentences stresses examples: she didn't want to go, emphasizing didn't and go. I love chocolate, emphasizing love and chocolate. Arithmetic structural illustration is the phrase I would like a cup of tea. The rhythm would highlight the stresses words, creating a pattern of alternating stresses and in stresses by syllables. Next, stress and rhythm in Kazakh. Comparative analysis with English. Stress patterns. English is a stress-timed language where the rhythm is based on the placement of stress on syllables. In construct, Kazakh typically has a fixed stress pattern, often falling in on the last syllable of a word. These differences lead to distinct rhythmic qualities in which language, with Kazakh maintaining a more regular syllabic rhythm compared of the variable stress of English. Impact on rhythm in English and stressed syllables may be reduced or elided, while in Kazakh all syllables tend to be clearly articulated, contributed to a more syllable timed feel. This can affect how rhythm is perceived in both languages, with Kazakh exhibited a more melodic and consistent flow. Next, unique features of stress in different languages. Kazakh stress. In Kazakh, stress is relatively predictable, usually falling on the final syllable of the word. This can make it easier for learners of Kazakh to predict pronunciation compared to English, where stress can shift and change meaning. Language-specific features. Each language has unique stress rules. For example, in tonal languages like Mandarin, stress and tone interact, influencing meaning. In Kazakh, however, stress is less influenced by tonal variation, focusing more on syllabic emphasis. Next, influences of cultural of prosthetic characteristics, cultural communication styles. Is Kazakh cultural speech patterns can reflect social hierarchy and relationship, with intonation playing a key role in expressing respect and formality. In English, intonational patterns also convey emotions and attitudes, but the cultural implications may differ. Intercultural influence. As globalization increases, the influence of English and Kazakh prosody is becoming more pronounced, especially among younger generations. This can lead to shift in traditional Kazakh prosodic features as English stress and intonational patterns are adopted. So next, conclusion. In conclusion, phonological typology and prosody highlights key aspects of language functionality, comparing stress and rhythm patterns in English with those of native languages shows how these elements shape communications and meaning. Unique prosodic features reflect cultural nuances and influence listener perception. Understanding these aspects deepens our appreciation of language diversity. Next references, there are references, and thank you for your attention.